Okay, so let's pick the biggest one. The most popular tool out there is ChatGPT. Of course, this is the thing that started all of this.
Yeah.
So how do you use and how do you leverage ChatGPT in the software development day-to-day work?
That's very, very interesting topic, because for the past 6 months, something like that, we've been experimenting a lot with a lot of AI tools. Why? Because as I already said, we are still young and we can do it. It's allowed still to do it. And so ChatGPT, as you said, is the most popular one, the thing that started it all. And of course, it's the most used tool. ChatGPT, by ChatGPT, I mean the premium version. Was it Plus or Premium? I'm not sure. The paid one.
The subscribe, the paid one. Yeah. So do you have a single subscription, or everyone at the company has a subscription? How do you do it?
Now, for now, we are using 2 subscriptions for the teams, and we have a rule that everybody that has a management role has his separate subscription.
All right.
The idea is behind that is that every person that has some people management responsibilities has to keep the information about people for themselves, and it's not okay to be shared. But for the developers, actually we started with 4 accounts for 10 developers, something like that. But through the months, ChatGPT increased their messages per 2 hours, I think. And our developers started, they become more proficient with working with ChatGPT and prompt engineering. And actually, we didn't need more. That's why we shrunk. We start with 4, now we're using 2. Yeah.
So are just out of curiosity, do you have a ChatGPT1@ambition.com and ChatGPT2@ambition.com for emails, or?
Yes, but it's devs1 and devs2. Yeah.
We do have a Vercel at hacksoft.io, but that's a different topic. All right, so you use the paid version of ChatGPT. I call it ChatGPT 4, but whatever they call it right now. So what is the primary use for the developers? Is it code generation, or I'm really curious, what's the primary use?
To be fair, code generation does not work great from my and their feedback. It just doesn't. Yeah, for simple stuff, it works great. If you ask ChatGPT to reverse a binary tree or write a merge sort, it will do it, yeah. But for actual practical use from a project, it does not work great, because it just can't grasp the whole context of the application. So no, we don't use it to generate code, but everything else that is around the writing of the code, of the coding itself, meaning that we use it to generate documentation. It's actually pretty good with generating documentation, writing tests, and explaining stuff. Actually, a funny story. It's not a story. It's one of the successful experiments with AI that we've done past months. Is that we had a girl that have just finished an academy, and we hired her like a junior developer, and we were really transparent about this, that we want to try to introduce something like an AI mentor.
You wrote about this on LinkedIn. There was a post.
Yeah, on Medium. It's not very popular on Medium, but still. Yeah. Anyway, we have AI mentor, and there were really simple rules. She had a mentor that is from the team, experienced developer, but we asked her to ask the AI chatbots everything that she doesn't know, and once she gets an answer, she has to judge, is it okay? If it's not okay, she talks to me. So I was part of the mentoring as well.
All right.
And it turned actually pretty well.
So if someone, let's say a junior developer, stumbles upon something or just has a question or something's not working, the first thing that what we usually do is Google it, but you say use ChatGPT to try to explain and frame your problem. and only if you don't find or understand the solution, then reach to a human.
Yeah. But before reaching to the human, we have another additional step that we try to like modify the prompt to see if the problem is the prompt or ChatGPT can.
Okay.
So this is before reaching human or after reaching it, or while reaching?
Before reaching the mentor. So we have the junior developer. She tries to ask ChatGPT. If ChatGPT does not answer correctly, then she asks me. I was like the middleman.
All right, you had a middleman.
Yeah. And if I say that, ChatGPT can't answer that, then she goes to the mentor.
Yeah, perhaps. Do you have something to add?
Yeah, and the idea here is to help her improve her prompt engineering skills to ask better and form her questions in a better way, so she can get answers.
Yeah, that was my part.
Okay,
the middleman. The whole idea is that. From my experience, a lot of juniors are like afraid to ask the so-called dumb questions, and to be fair, sometimes they are dumb.
Yeah.
But they have to ask them, and there is a lot of anxiety when a junior developer has to ask something like that, a real person. And ChatGPT or AI in general, for better or for worse, has no morality. So you can ask ChatGPT anything, and it will just answer.
Got it.
Yeah, that's I remember reading this either LinkedIn or Medium, and I was thinking to myself, okay, this sounds like a good idea, but with like at the moment I saw two particular problems that I wanted to ask you about, and now we have this opportunity. And the first one is, let's say the junior asks ChatGPT and gets an answer and says, all right, my problem is solved, but ChatGPT provided something that, so the problem was not framed in the correct way, but let's say the junior was solving the wrong problem and got the solution for the wrong problem and continued working, but with perhaps moving in the wrong direction. How do you address this? Because from our experience, this is with juniors and interns, their biggest problem is they are solving the wrong problems, and they don't know that.
But that's something that a junior developer will do anyway. Doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT or he or she. They always solve the wrong problem. This way, they won't feel bad for solving the wrong problem, because no, I'm not saying it right. Let's play it like this. I'm a junior developer and I'm asking you as a mentor, right?
Yeah.
And you answer me, and you think you have answered me very good, very detailed.
Yeah.
But I'm a junior and I'm shy. I know I don't know anything, so I agree with you. Yeah, I understood everything, and actually I haven't understood everything. So I try to solve the different problem. And
then it's even harder to go back to the mentor and say, hey, you remember that I said I understood everything? Actually, no. So let's start again.
Yeah, but if you do this with an AI, you're not ashamed to ask it again. Why? Because it's AI, as I said, it has no morality, it will be fair, won't laugh at you if you want, anything like that.
Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting framing, because I think if you have some kind of anxiety talking to a human, I'm not 100% sure about this. It's just an intuition, but you might have as well anxiety to ask the AI, and it's not because it's an AI, but it's because the anxiety comes from you thinking that you should know something in order to be in this position, but you actually don't know it, and this creates the anxiety. And asking for help just increases your anxiety. At least this is what I've seen from our folks here. And the way that we address this is by first, of course, talking a lot and somehow dumbing down ourselves, just presenting ourselves as just another human that you can ask this dumb question. Doesn't matter, we are basically the same, and doing this over a long period of time. Usually for juniors and interns here is 6 months, and this is what I was thinking. How do you after this train those juniors to actually talk with humans if they get used to asking questions to AIs and Googles?
No, they talk with the mentor all the time.
Okay.
Like the AI mentor is only augmenting the real mentor. We don't want to break this connection with people to person to person communication, but it's open, it's out there to ask the AI, as I said, the dumb questions or explaining. It's actually really good for explaining stuff. Or, for example, if you're a junior, you've learned something like Django, doesn't matter, and you have to do front end. And you know the basics of JavaScript, but you have to start doing React. And you see a lot of hard code in the code base already, and you just can't understand it. You can just copy and paste it to chatbot and it will explain to you.
Yeah, got it. To understand the framework, basically, hey, there are some strange things here from the React code base that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
As we had an example, we have folks who learned React here with hooks. Like they learned React with hooks, and they're very good with hooks. And they had to jump in a code base where we still had class components.
Okay, yeah.
It was a really interesting experience because you had to explain it backwards. And now that I'm thinking through it, perhaps ChatGPT could have helped a lot here because you can just say, hey, I have only knowledge about React hooks, and here's an example class-based code. Can you navigate me through it?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, that's smart.
To be fair, in the case with React, I mean, class-based views, not views, sorry.
Components.
Components, yeah, thank you. With the case with class-based components in React, actually ChatGPT performs better with class-based components because of its data. Yeah.
There's more class-based code base out there.
Yeah.
Class-based components, code base out there.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. This is actually then smart. If my general problem was the lack of human connection, because juniors need to learn to talk with other people. But if you're not breaking this, then it's very valuable to teach them the necessary skills, because we were joking that sometimes we have to teach people how to Google, but this is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
How to frame your questions so you can find a proper answer or a good direction to your answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so you said you don't use it for code generation. You use it for the very thing that we just discussed. Anything else about ChatGPT in software development context?
Yeah, of course. Well, we use it for documentation. No developer likes to write documentation, so this solves a lot of problems then.
What kind of documentation?
In-code documentation.
So the person reading this documentation is another developer that is reading the code and the code documentation.
I have tried it, actually code, not ChatGPT, because the ChatGPT now has data analysis to upload files, but it doesn't work great with .NET code, and we use .NET, so it tries to do some regular expressions stuff to understand the code, and it just doesn't. So I used Quote.
Okay.
Quote has file upload from, I don't know, many months now. It still has it. And then you can upload all the code and just ask him write me domain knowledge documentation that will be read by other people, not technical people. The problem here is that the context of Quote is not that big. That's actually the problem, because it works on a different way than ChatGPT. ChatGPT just forgets stuff that is like at the top of the conversation, and once you reach the context window in Quote, it just tells you, context done. You can't continue.
You have to start over again, but with a different context.
Yeah, but if you have a watch code base, you just can't do that. And I tried it. It works really nice for a very small package that we're developing. Actually, it's a lot like the Django admin bar for .NET. And as it's a package, it's not that big, and you can upload all the code, and it works great. But yeah.
Awesome. I'll come back to uploading the code to Claude.
Okay.
We have a point to address here because it's quite important for the practical sense of things. My experience, I'll share some tips, not tips, but what I use ChatGPT for software development is, first of all, explaining regular expressions. It's
great.
I never learned them. I actually learned them like 15 times or 20 times. Never actually got the correct intuition, and it's really good at explaining and writing them, and generating, for example, tests that help you cover the regular expressions. I use it a lot for manipulating CSV data, like a lot. Okay. Here's the CSV, because I just don't want to write the Python or Pandas code for this. And just please, here's the CSV, change this column to this, and add another column and do this. And it's doing a really, really good job, and this saves a lot of time. And what I really, really like about ChatGPT, because we had an episode back in season 3 or season 2, season 3 about AI. And my general good feeling back then was, okay, ChatGPT feels like Google with extra steps, meaning if I have to search for some particular topic and I don't have ChatGPT, I Google it, I then open 10 to 15 pages, I start reading, and I start taking down notes in a separate document, and it's like an ongoing process. And what I felt back then is that ChatGPT is doing all those steps for me, and it's presenting me with the final content.
Yeah.
But the power for me is that it can generate content that never existed before, based on the knowledge that it has. For example, we have right now a PHP project. Okay. We took very good clients, and it's PHP. And we have a team that's working with PHP. We are PHP OGs with Ivo. We started
back in
PHP.
the days.
Yeah, back in the days. And ChatGPT is just extremely powerful for, hey, in Django, we have something that's called prefetch related that does this thing. Yeah. How, I'm not going to swear, how do I do this in Laravel? And it just gives me an example. And this is super powerful because it saves me the time to search in Stack Overflow or for some kind of a blog post where someone explains this. And there's like very little chance for someone to explain cross Django, cross Laravel things that match. And for me, this is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And it's solving another problem. A huge problem to me is that whenever I Google something, nowadays the first couple of search results are just big wonk articles that are specifically written for SEO purpose in order for you to go there, agree with a couple cookie pop-ups, so you can dig there and find your answer that is basically 3 lines of example code. I don't know why Google is failing so much with showing you the right content that's answering your question.
They have to sell ads, and this is also a problem that ChatGPT is going to have.
Probably, but for now, for simple technical questions that you should know the answer, but you probably forgot, it is way faster to me to receive the right answer instead of Googling it and going to a couple articles that are really long with a lot of content that's not supposed to be there. It's just there for the word count and for the keywords count and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And research, I don't want to discard Google yet, but sometimes when I have to start researching a topic that I have no idea about, for example, how do I implement a Wix plugin for Wix e-commerce? Right. I can Google it, but they have like tons of documentation, and
you're just lost there.
I want to be pointed in the right direction, and then I start with ChatGPT. It gives me proper terms, which after this I used to craft a better query for Google, and then I found what I need.
Yeah.
But for sure, I don't want to discard Google yet. For some of the things, at least I'm quite what's the word for it? I don't trust everything that ChatGPT writes to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Basically, I trust nothing, but then you can validate with the rest of the internet.
Yeah. The Wings example was kind of good because it's. Imagine some things that were not true, and our research was somehow based on things that are not exactly true.
I wrote an offer to a client based only on ChatGPT, which turned out to be hallucinating about a very important specific thing. Luckily, we didn't got the client.
Okay.
Because we thought, oh, this is really, really fast. And ChatGPT hallucinated something that if this thing actually existed, it's going to be really fast to implement it. But it didn't exist.
It didn't.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's from my experience, it's also very nice, very good at researching. You can use it to compare stuff. I actually used it last week to find a gun charger. I don't know if you know it.
What's a gun charger?
Well, it's a charger that you put in the socket, and you can get multiple cables going out from it. I can explain more.
Please do so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a charger that is not a silicon technology. It uses something else. I'm not that good with chemistry and stuff and mechanics, but basically you have a lot less loss of energy. So this way you can charge multiple devices together without losing the energy from, for example, heating the device.
All right.
And as I said, I don't understand this stuff. I'm a techie, but this is like a new thing, and I haven't delved in it. And I wanted to buy one for a trip I'm going to this week. So I didn't have the time to do a thorough research through all the stuff. And ChatGPT actually pointed me to the right.
This was using the browsing plugin?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's using the browser plugin, and it even asked him to find me the top 10 gun chargers out there that I can buy in Europe and have at least something like 100 watts of power, something like that. I don't remember the actual prompt,
Got it.
but yes, and also to find the reviews on these devices and like summarize the information. And it actually proved very nice because I did a very quick research after that, and actually the things that it suggested were the top devices out there.
Okay, so my takeaway is we should use ChatGPT more, I suppose.
Yeah,
sure.
It can do this. This is an interesting approach.
Yeah.
And let's just summarize so far. You're using it as augmentation to the mentorship that you're doing at the company, not as much for code generation. And I can understand this. We'll talk about Copilot next. You use it for explanation and for generating documentation and for research, which is powerful.
I also use
Anything
it.
Else?
Yeah, actually a lot more else. I use ChatGPT a lot, and I'm like trying to motivate the team to use it even more. I use it also as a validator of ideas.
Tell us more.
Yeah, if you have some kind of idea and you have 2 or 3 ways you can think of like implementing it. Doesn't matter if it's actual code or something else. You can use it as how do you say it? Like the participant that can argue with you, and you can say to the chatbot, act as, for example, our CEO, or act as a technical leader, or act as everybody. Give me the perspective of, for example, the CEO of a potential client, and so on and so on. And the things it generates, sometimes they're not good, as you said as well, but it's still good for brainstorming. You can, brainstorming is actually the word. You can brainstorm with it. I use it a lot in my posts. When I write a post, actually the posts are not AI generated, but I use AI to like validate them for the target audience. I use them to tell me what are the feelings of the audience after they read it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, for things like that I use it a lot. And let me think of something. I said a lot of things.
Do you validate the results based on, because if I ask ChatGPT, hey, how would the audience feel about this? I know I kind of won't trust the response because ChatGPT does not know my audience. Do you kind of validate how the audience reacted with what ChatGPT said to you back?
I'm planning to do it,
Right.
like a thorough, how do you say it? Thoroughly try.
Totally, like
Yeah.
in its entire.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of time,
Yeah.
so I haven't done it already. But I do it from time to time for single posts, and it's fine. As you said, it's hard to predict what will be the reaction of the audience, but still, if there is something very obvious that you can see because you're the author, and I have written this post like 15 minutes ago, I don't see it actually, obviously, and it can say, yeah, this is not okay. For example, I know 2 weeks ago, I wrote a code about static analysis. It doesn't matter that much, but I wrote something like static analysis is God. And in the modern world, ChatGPT said, yeah, you can't use God here.
Yeah. Too controversial.
Yeah, you have to use something else. And I said, okay, static analysis is king. And it said, oh, that's not okay because why it's not queen? And so on and so on.
Yeah, okay. Makes you, okay, got it. Gives you back things to think about.
Yeah, like the most scandalous stuff. Scandalous is not the word. The most
controversial.
Controversial stuff. It finds it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So basically, ChatGPT can be your co-pilot. No pun intended. And this gives us a great transition about GitHub's Copilot. Because we are talking about the practical use of AI in modern software development.